There are over 6,000 ski resorts worldwide. So my goal this season is to go to as many ski resorts as humanly possible and give you my ratings and reviews of all of them. And today we will be talking about Mont Ripley Ski Area. My name is Chris and I have been to over 40 different resorts and have been riding for over 20 years. I've competed in snowboarding competitions and I have been a snowboard instructor in the past, and I have ridden in everything from West Coast powder to East Coast ice and then everything in between. And today I will be giving my review on Mont Ripley Ski Area to determine whether or not it's worth you making the trek all the way out there to spend your hard-earned money to go ride at this resort. So the only reason I even found out about this resort is because my buddy and I have been going to Mount Bohemia for multiple seasons now, and every time we're driving in, we drive through this little town. I don't know if it's Hancock or Houghton, but we drive through it because it's like one side of the river's that, one side of the river's the other. Every time we drive through, we see this random little resort that looks kind of fun, and we just always think that'd be fun to go try that one day. And so last season we decided to go for a little night riding session, and I will say I was pleasantly surprised. So before I dive into my full breakdown of the resort, let's go over a couple quick mountain stats. So the resort is sitting at its peak at an elevation of 1,140 feet. However, that is not the vertical drop. The vertical drop is only 440 feet. It has 24 trails and 4 chairlifts. I should do air quotes chairlift because it does have a little T-bar, and I think it might have a magic carpet as well. So really it's just 2 chairlifts and 2 other ways to get to the top of the mountain. And then it has 112 skiable acres. So how much does this resort cost to ride at? So for me, I spent $75 getting a lift ticket. However, my buddy Jim, who I went there with, actually had the Indy Pass, and so he got to ride there for free because it was included on the Indy Pass. And then if you are lucky enough to be a student at MTU, which is the college right there in town, you actually get to ride here for free, which is pretty sick. Now, diving into some of the cons of the resort, and I'll just start off right out the bat with the resort is tiny. So if you're going here expecting it to be some big, massive ski resort, that is not at all what this is. This is a very small resort. However, I will say, as a small resort, that is pretty fun. It does have a little bit of everything for any rider. And the only other con that I found with this resort, which is kind of common for very small ski areas, is there's the cafeteria had I don't even know if the cafeteria was open, because when we went there to get our lift tickets, I don't think I saw any food. I think there might have been like granola bars or something. I don't know if they serve food or maybe it was just closed when we went there, but it was very dead. But it's right in the town of Hancock and Houghton, so you are like 10 minutes away from just a bunch of different restaurants. So it's not that big of a deal. And also, I don't think most people would be skiing there for long enough to get like super duper duper hungry. I mean, it's a very small area. But other than it being a very tiny resort and having really not much of food options there, those are really my only 2 cons. I guess the other con would just be don't go there with big expectations of some massive resort. But stepping over to the pros, I was impressed with the overall ski area. It was pretty freaking fun. It had everything from, I'm doing air quotes, I think they technically had some blacks and double blacks, but like they had little black runs that were actually pretty freaking steep. And they had some different little tree trails you could go and hit. They had nice long blues. They had a cool little bowl area that you could ride in. They had a little mogul field as well. Pretty decent terrain park, and then different options to get up the mountain, whether it be the chairlifts that they had on either side of the mountain or the T-bar that you could ride up. So really a lot of different options, and it was open for night riding, which was actually a blast. Once again, I had very low expectations, and I don't know if it was just because my buddy and I had been burnt out from riding at Mount Bohemia and getting no groomers for like almost a week, or it was just one of those days where the vibe vibes were right, and the mountain was a lot of fun, and everybody there was super nice. It had a very similar feel to Massanutten, which is right down the road from JMU. This resort is right down the road from MTU. So it had a very kind of college vibe. A lot of the people there were younger. It also seemed like the employees as well. A lot of them seemed to be younger college-age students. So it just had more of a fun, laid-back environment. Ski Patrol was super friendly, super nice, and all in all, everybody there was super chill. I really enjoyed the team of people working there. I was very impressed. All in all, super fun environment, super fun day out on the mountain, and just a little bit of everything if you're just looking for a quick, fun, easy spot to ride that is small, but it is on the Indy Pass, and if you don't have the Indy Pass, it is pretty affordable. So let's talk about how I would stack rank this resort against all the others I have so far on this channel. So once again, if you're new, what I do is I do two different ratings. I do an F to S tier for its region, and then I also do an F to S tier worldwide. I don't think it's fair to compare Mont Ripley to Winter Park or Vail or Lake Louise. They're not even comparable resorts. So I will do a regional rating, and then I will do a worldwide rating. This resort sits in the Midwest. It's in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I would give this resort, honestly, a B. I was very surprised at how much fun the resort was, especially for night riding. There was just a lot of different options. The conditions were pretty solid, and it wasn't like I went on some, powder day or anything like that. It was just pretty normal conditions, and it was pretty sick. Now, if we're moving over to worldwide rankings, that's where this resort's gonna take a bit of a hit. Like, you would never, ever travel from any distance to go check out just this resort. Now, it is cool because it is in the town of, Hancock and Houghton. So you're right there. So there's very affordable housing. There's hotels all around it that are very affordable that I've stayed in before. So it is in a cool little area, but nothing about the area or the resort at all would I recommend you traveling from any long distance to go ride at, even though I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I did travel all the way from Virginia and rode there. But that was when I was also riding at Mount Bohemia. I also did a day at Voodoo Mountain, and then I also checked out Mont Ripley as well. And so if I was putting this on the worldwide scale, and it does hurt me to rate it this low because it was a good time. One of my favorite days of my trip out to the Upper Peninsula with Jim. However, I would put it at a C, a generous C. It's just barely above a D. Not because the people weren't nice, not because the runs weren't fun. It's just so tiny. It's obviously not something that you would ever travel any distance to go ride at, but the place was a vibe. So please comment below what resorts I should go check out next. And if you like the hoodie that I'm wearing, I give out one of these after every video. All you have to do to potentially win one is subscribe to my channel, comment on this video, send me a screenshot that you did it, just send it to my Instagram, and I pick one person to send free some sort of swag to after every video. So if you want potential free swag, all you got to do is subscribe and comment and send me a screenshot proving that you did it. And with that said, peace out, y'all. And if you like this video, you might like these videos as well.